I feel crazy saying this, but Kostya was right. We should have let Solace Keep fall.
Crazy is one word for it. You really think you can just burn down someone's ancestral home?
Dearie, the Keep isn't a home. It's a prison. And now the Pargrunen will never escape.
Solace is my home. I still don't get why any of you feel like you have a say in this.
But you left.
Because I chose to. Kostya doesn't get to make that decision for everybody.
If Kostya doesn't, Mihala will.
Civilization, as we know it, hasn't existed in the living lands for very long. We need to preserve what history we have.
Darling, you know I hate to think of losing all of that history more than anyone. But think of what they could have gained. Maxim left the Republics, and it allowed Animancers in Fjord to thrive.
Destroying our home is not starting something new.
You really think everyone in Solace is there willingly? If anything, I imagine Mihala and her traditionalists will only make it harder to leave now. You know your own mind. There's something to be said for that.
True. And you've a date with the gods soon. We can only hope that you'll make better decisions.
Enough talking in circles. Let's save our strength for the garden. I, for one, could use a long rest. And I'm betting the envoy could, too.
Right. Looking forward to it.
I must admit, I had my doubts about Solace. It was like a dungeon, except the wardens were the prisoners. You could have helped Kostya destroy the keep, but you left it standing. Why? I agree. A decision like this belongs to the community, not the ambitions of one man. Even if Solace isn't going anywhere, I think your arrival was a sign of changes to come. Wherever you go, you break people out of their habits. You banish the old ways. Then it's a good thing you're here. Better late than never. Wherever that power comes from, whether it's your heritage or political status, it's a terrible burden. I don't envy you, but at least you keep things interesting. I'll tell you what. Pleasant dreams. Let me get this straight. You spoke to the spirit of Nandru, a godlike, same as you. What did he say? Any advice? Any words of encouragement? Oh. I take it that wasn't what you expected. I should have seen this coming. Never listen to the dead. They're cynical, full of regret, and determined to make us all miserable. Thankfully, you're still alive. Fate is in your hands. See? The future is looking brighter already. No one is closer to Sapodal than you are. Nandru lost that privilege when he died, which means you alone can judge the god of the living lands. Your opinion is the one that counts. A caged animal lashes out at friend and foe alike. For what it's worth, I think you're going to be fine. No matter what you do about Sapodal, it can't get any worse. I wish I could say the same for the living lands. You want to talk? Not before I've done some reading.
I'm starting to suspect that every single leader in the living lands is incompetent. Truly, is there no vetting process? Hopefully those in Solace Keep will choose their leaders with more care in the future. But we should check on Marius. I'll make him some soothing perfume, but I think a few words from you would help too. Well, of course, I'm not suggesting it's always a fix for issues. But those poor Pargrunen are clearly prisoners of their traditions. I think getting rid of the keep could have helped more than they realized. I do not envy the Pargrunen in any case. Meeting that council gave me a new appreciation for Vidaro. Well, Fjord has already been burned to the ground, so that's half the work already, I suppose. Barrett's balls. What a nightmare. We're losing focus on the important things. Things like the garden. Oh, come on, Envoy, let's get going. How can I help, darling? I'm starting to suspect that every single leader in the living lands is incompetent. Truly. Is there no vetting process? Hopefully those in Solace Keep will choose their leaders with more care in the future. But we should check on Marius. I'll make him some soothing perfume, but I think a few words from you would help too. Why would I be mad at you consigning a people to a lifetime imprisoned by their traditions and literal stone walls? Well, that doesn't sound like me at all. I do not envy the Pargrunen in any case. Meeting that council gave me a new appreciation for Vidaro. There's always... Oh, come on. How can I... Tired already, Envoy? Well...
This place may not have much going for it, but that view across the Acid Sea is really something at night. I can tell he's struggling against the current, which is a shame because he's looking out for his people rather than an old building. Tradition and history have their place, but I just can't see putting it ahead of the welfare of the living. But you're the Envoy. I'm wondering what you think about it. I never thought about it that way, but you're right. Probably a good reason for that, too. Arawatai's grown over the centuries through dozens of expansions, conquests, and alliances. Many were bloody and hard-won, but I still can't find myself wishing for the alternative. We wouldn't have lasted if we stayed a small Almawa tribe struggling against a barren, stormy spit of land. Fair enough, and that's not exactly the choice in front of the Pargrunen either. The question is, do you really think Kostya and his people are better off sticking around here than taking their chances with Adir? Or striking out into the living lands? Perhaps there's no one who should make that decision, but someone will have to. We'll be covered in ash by morning.
Envoy, I've seen Mount Forgia erupt before, but never like that. It's like it was angry, like it was screaming in pain. I don't know what really happened, but I assume Sapadal was involved. Right. Well, with Ludwig gone, the rest of the growth should follow. Maybe things will start looking up for once. Anyway. If I must. Envoy? Sorry. I've been in my head ever since we left Solace, thinking about the village. What if I get there and Oh, I don't know, I fall apart. Memories flood in, and I don't know who I am anymore. Or worse, what if it's nothing?